Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another amazing episode. In this particular one, we'll be looking into five cars that you should always get to avoid buying them or basically owning them. And I'll be taking you through details, the reason why that's the case. And with these five cars that we'll be looking into, from the mechanicals to performance, all those things we'll be looking down in this video. So pay attention and, of course, stick around because I'll be taking you through this discussion, and my name is Willie. And of course, guys, with these five cars that we'll be looking into, these are the top in that list. It doesn't mean that these are the only cars that you should avoid owning. And to just give you an insight of what we'll be looking into, these are cars which have an ending repair and maintenance cost, which are necessary. These are cars which are not reliable, and these are cars which have shown a trend of having multiple and ending mechanical problems. So stick around for that. And of course, guys, if it's your first time coming across my videos or visiting this channel, make sure, guys, you get to hit the subscribe button so that you be part of this team. And of course, whenever I get to bring you more educative and entertaining videos like this one, you can always be notified. Also, share your thoughts on the comment section. Apart from these five that we'll be looking into, if you have had some experiences with other different cars, you can just go ahead and share that in our comment section. So for now, guys, just allow the intro to roll. I'm going to see you on the other side. Welcome back. In our list, guys, let's just go ahead to get to dive in our car number one in our list. And this is a car which, from the outside, this is a car which looks amazing. And the car that we're talking about is the BMW, the CX-5. We're talking about the older model, so it's very, very important that you get to take note on that. We're talking of those cars which were, came out from production from the year 2011 to around 2012. Those BMW X5, they had a reputation of poor performance, as well as they had so many mechanical problems. Just to look at a few, with the BMW X5, one of the problems that really occurred frequently is the issue of the engine. And of course, we're talking about whereby, especially the twin turbocharged engine, it had really some difficulties with the engine, especially when you're going to places which have tough terrains. This car really had some serious problems from overheating of the gasket, as well as it also shown some problems with the failed valve stems, which are they're very, very crucial, especially with a car of this size and, of course, with such a big engine. So also with the BMW, as it's their norm, with most of them, they do come with a very, very complicated electronic system. And we're talking about the sensors. And this particular one, the BMW, the X5, they had a reputation of having some faulty sensors. We're talking about things like the pressure sensors. We're also talking about things like parking sensors, climate control sensors. They were had a really serious problem. So that's something that so many people they really struggled with this, especially those who own this car. And with these complex electronics, you realize is that once one sensor has a problem, it translates to a couple of other sensors are bringing up some other problems, and that is something that so many people are faced with the BMW X5. So also, it's also important to understand that the BMW, the X5, the 2011 to 2012 version, this car is very, very costly when it comes to maintenance, and the fact that it gets to keep bringing up some problems, that was a serious issue to the owners, and that's why so many people they didn't prefer owning this car. So now let's proceed to a car number two in our list. Number two in our list, guys, we're talking about the Volkswagen, the Jetta. Mostly the Jetta is usually came as a sedan version. And one thing that I'll be realizing with the Volkswagen Jetta, especially here in Kenya, this car you can't spot it more often in the Kenyan roads, and that's the reason why this car is not considered by many or preferred by many, because it had two major problems. One, it had some electrical faults, And remember, this car is usually powered or is usually controlled by the ECU control sensors. And when those sensors raise serious problem, that affects the performance. And of course, it means that that car will be requiring every and now to see a mechanic. And that's something that it's a headache to most of the car owners. So apart from the electrical faults, this car also had a problem with the interior quality issues. We're talking about the components that are made up this car. Some of them they were not durable. Others they are considered to be of low quality, and of course that really gets to affect how so many the car owners gets uh, to feel about the car. And of course that was one of the two problems that this car was really identified with. And that's the reason why you'll be realizing the Volkswagen Jetta is not even a car which so many people get to know about it, because it didn't last in the car industry. So now let's proceed into car number three. Number three, this is a car which people at first they had really purchased this car, but it's not a norm that you'll be seeing nowadays, because with the Volkswagen Tiguan, this is a car which it's a big car. Remember, we're talking about a V6, some of them they even V8 engine. And one thing with this car is that it has so many electrical sensors. And of course these are things that are really get to affect this car, because I have a friend who owned one sometimes back, and it had even some problem whenever it gets to rain. This car can fail to open some doors. So and remember, if this car doesn't get to close all the doors, it brought up some issues with even ignition. So with the Volkswagen Tiguan, this is a car which it's a big car. And of course, apart from just the electrical green lines and sensors, this car also showed some serious problem with power accessory failures. And under that, we're talking about things like door locking system. We're also talking about the ECU control system, the sensors, and that's a problem that you'll be realizing with most of these Volkswagen Tiguan. So also the major problem is that to do these repairs, this car is very expensive, and that's served as a big discouragement to the car owners. And that's why so many people they tend to just dispose it after owning it for a short period of time. So if you're going to purchase, it's advisable avoid buying this Volkswagen Tiguan, despite the fact that it's a car which gets show some good status as well as some class. When it comes to performance and maintenance, it's going to have to give you a head over time. So now let's proceed to the next one in our list. Well, number four in our list is a car which this is not new to many. Is the Nissan Navara. This car initially it came to the market with the perspective that it was meant to be a huge competitor to cars like the Toyota Hilux, but over the period of time, people realized that this car can't be put up into comparison, despite its bold and tough outside look. With the Nissan Navara, it raised two big problems, one of which is overheating. These Nissan cars, they have problems with the overheating, especially if pushed beyond its limit. With, for instance, this car, remember, it was meant to be an off-road car. With the Nissan Navara, it had some serious problems with the gasket, the head gasket. It displayed some overheating. Also, the other thing is the fact that to repair this car, it's very expensive. Those are some of the things that are resulted to this car are not preferred by many. Also, with Nissan, they have had some history with the transmission system. Remember, what happens is that the gearbox is not abandoned, but the problem is that once exposed to high temperatures, these gearbox they tend to get to a point it feels like it's beyond its capability, and that's when you'll be realizing the car may fail to accelerate or to change some gears. And that was also the same case that Navara displayed. So that's our number four in our list. And of course, if you're looking to buy an off-road car, I would suggest look into other markets. For instance, Toyota Hilux. That's a car which can really get serve you. So now let's proceed to our last one in our list. Our last car in our list, guys, number five is the Nissan Blue Band. This car might look amazing from the outside. It might also look like to be competitive cars like the Toyota Aldio. I was talking about cars like the Tida. But with the Nissan Blue Band, it had just one big problem, which is the CVT transmission gearbox. So apart from having a very reliable naturally aspirated engine, the gearbox is the problem. So if you're looking to own one, be prepared because that will be a challenge that you might be facing real soon, especially with the as the car gets to approach around 100,000 kilometers, you'll be facing such a big problem. So basically, that's my list for the five cars that you should avoid purchasing because they are very expensive to maintain. Their resale value really depreciate because so many people they have been informed about the problems that are associated with this car. When it comes to reselling it, you'll be having some very difficult time. So basically, guys, let me know what's your thought. Maybe you have another experience with different cars. Talk to me in the comment section, and I would really appreciate. That's it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys.